Well, good morning. Hello, this is Jeff Hooks, and I want to welcome you to our Victory Nutrition International Partner Training for this Saturday, September 14th. We are glad you're with us. For those that are plugged in live via the webinar feature, you can already see that the cat's out of the bag. We've got a couple special guest speakers, of course, and leaders, but I did share it on Thursday night's product and business overview, so it's not too big of a secret. But anyway, we've got Ed and Gina Bender joining us. We've got some wonderful, very important content to share. Thank you, Mike Boston. I appreciate it. Even though it's casual Saturday, so we're branded. We've got the VNI Lighthouse working, but I didn't shave. I hope y'all will allow a little casual Saturday every once in a while. So anyway, and there's 21 pounds. Thank you, Mike. There's 21 pounds less of me than there was 4 weeks ago. So thank you for noticing, Mike. Nobody's going to accuse me of blowing away, but the Husky boy is making some positive steps. So anyway, I'm excited that all of you are with us today. You know what? I'm going to go off script a minute. It is a wonderful time to be part of the VNI family. And I know you know that, all of you know that, or you wouldn't be with us today. And we've got a couple that I'm aware of. We've got some new partners, as always. Certainly listening to the replay, we've got some new partners, and we want to welcome you. This might be your first live VNI partner training. And let me just share with you just real quickly that our purpose with this weekly training, no matter who's leading it, whether it's me or Gina or Ed Bender or Cynthia Sauer or we've had Mike Boston, Ken Nasmitz, Mike Dannenberg, and others, Lisa Turner, Michael Saletti, others. The purpose is very simple, to kind of meet you where you are. So if you're a brand new partner, we want to equip you with some of the basic fundamentals that can help you get your business off the ground, help you start bringing on customers into the VNI family, and start creating a cash flow for yourself and your family, depending on what your goals are. If you're an emerging leader, that maybe you're executive manager working to director and beyond, emerging leader, you've been part of the team for a while. We want to equip you with some proven, keyword proven, fundamentals, some proven success principles that can help you this upcoming week. And that's the way we look at it. The challenge of leadership is to have a vision, kind of define reality. As leaders, we need to know with clarity where we are right now. So specifically in terms of where we are with VNI, what's your business look like? How many customers? How many partners? What kind of volume? What's your pin level with our recognition system? How many partners do you have on your team that are engaged and actually waking up in the morning, wanting to share these amazing products with the world who needs it? Leaders have to define reality within ourselves and within our team. That's part of that's the key to leadership. In addition to that, here comes the vision part. We need to know where we're going, know where we are, know where we're going. And what's the vision? Where do you want to go? And I'll ask this question. Think about this. I think every one of you should have a vision for where you want to be with your VNI business, within the VNI family, with the engaging in the VNI mission. Where do you want to be at 5 years from today? Think about that. September 14th, 2024. What do you want your business to be like? And if you've got, hopefully all of you have pen and paper, write that down. Think about it. Because maybe if you haven't thought about it, I want to encourage you this weekend to think about it. Allow yourself to dream a little bit. Now, you might say, well, hey, Jeff, my goal right now is just to create $500 a month to pay off some credit card debt. That's awesome. That is take some pressure off. That's what, as an example, that's wonderful. But allow yourself to step back a little bit and let your light shine. Think about it. Where do you want to go? Where would you like, what would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail? And allow yourself to dream a little bit. This is an exercise. This is a leadership exercise. It's a mindset exercise. It's a vision exercise. 5 years from today, where would you like to be? What would you like your pin level to be? Take a look at the VNI compensation plan. Would you like to be a vice president? Would you like to be an envoy and enjoy the annual incentive trip, the envoy experience? Would you like to be what Ed and Gina are, ambassadors with a six-figure residual, multi-six-figure residual? Would you like to be crown ambassadors and have financial freedom? Whatever your vision is, it's your vision, but think about it. Where would you like to be in 5 years? And then you kind of break that down. Where would you like to be in 2 or 3 years? Pick, let's say 2 years with your V&I business. And we have to recognize that the larger the vision, the larger the dream, the greater the contribution that's required. I'm going to say that one more time. The bigger the vision you have, the larger the dream, the larger the vision, the greater the contribution. And this goes hand in hand. This is, hopefully this is not bad news for anybody, but the greater the sacrifice. Never, ever, ever allow anyone or yourself to kid yourself. Don't allow you to kid you. And I'm speaking from personal experience. The greater the vision, make no mistake, you're not going to magically go ambassador. You ask, Gina and Ed are ambassador, working towards crown ambassador, and making great progress, by the way. But ask them if they've made sacrifices. Ask them if they've, missed some of their favorite TV shows. Now, they're probably saying, what's a TV? Ask them if they've missed some important things with friends and family on occasion. I'm not saying always. There's discernment, and we want to have our priorities straight. But hopefully you get the point. The greater the vision, the bigger the dream, the bigger the sacrifice. Commitment is what is left after the emotion of the moment has passed. I quoted, actually last Saturday, I quoted the 1 Minute Manager, Ken Blanchard. There's a difference between being involved and being committed. When you're involved, you'll do something only when it's convenient. When you're committed, you accept no excuses, only results. So if your goal, and again, the beautiful thing is you're the CEO of your own business. You really are. You need to think of it that way. It's mindset. It's your V&I business. It's your V&I vision. My job and the entire corporate team and the leadership team, Ed and Gina Bender, Cynthia Sauer, et cetera, Ken Nasmitz, the leadership team, our job is to help you get where you want to go. But you have to do the work. You have to, nobody can plant your garden for you. You got to get out there and put the seed out. You got to invite, share, follow up. So think about it, 5 years, and then let's go to 2 years. Then let's go to 1 year. And if you haven't done this exercise on paper, I really encourage you to do that, or digitally. Where do you want to be 1 year? Where do you want to be with your literally, if we're all together around a conference table, or more, comfortable, having a cup of coffee, iced tea, whatever your favorite beverage is, and we're sitting here talking, what would you like to have happen in your V&I business in the next 12 months in order for you to be pleased with your progress? Not for anybody else, your vision. Now, here's the key. What's your plan for making that happen? What's your activity plan? How many people do you need to share our amazing products with? How many customers do you need to bring on board? How many partners do you need to bring on board? What kind of volume do you need to create? And we'll help you do that. That's the wonderful thing about it. Between myself, between Gina and Ed, between the leadership team, Cynthia, Ken Nasmitz, and others, we can help you get where you want to go because we've got the experience. We've absolutely got the experience. So you've got to have clarity on two things. Where do you want to go? And what are you willing to do to get there? What's your level of contribution? What commitment, sacrifice? Okay, that's think about those. Now, break that down one more time. We're reverse engineering this. 5 years to 2 to 1 to guess where we're going now. This month. What do you want? We're halfway through the month. What's your vision for September? What's your goal for September? What do you want to create in your business? Again, it's about progress, not perfection. So if you're brand new, what's your plan for September? It might be, I just want to bring on one customer. Great. I'll share this with you. If you go out and you share, if you use the V&I Life app, which Gina and Ed and I are going to be talking about in just a minute. If you use the V&I Life app and you go share V&I and follow the teaching that we discuss, and you go out and share with 10 people, and you follow up, and you bring your upline in it to help you, I would be shocked. Now, again, it just depends, but I would be shocked if you wouldn't have at least one customer. You might have 3 or 4 or 5. If you share with 10 and nobody gets back to you, and whatever you're having playing phone tag, share with another 10. But if your goal is to add one new customer to get moving forward, to overcome inertia and get your business moving forward between now and the end of the month in 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, you can do it. No, now some of you have bigger goals than that. I want to bring 5 customers in. I want to bring 2 customers and 2 partners. Whatever it is, I want to go from executive manager to director in the next 2 weeks. How am I going to do that? I've got my personal plan, and then all my partners have absolute clarity. All my engaged partners know exactly what they want to do between now and the end of the month. That's the leadership. So you build the model and you replicate the model with your team. And it's all based on, think about this. This is kind of the mindset of goals. How can we hit a target that we don't have? Okay, think about that. My son is doing some archery, my oldest son. And think about, if he pulls the arrow back and he's just kind of meandering, looking up at the sky, looking at birds, reading a book, and then he just pulls the arrow back and flings it, is he going to hit the target? And of course the answer is not likely. Not likely. But what if he focuses on what he's wanting to achieve, and he lasers the target? I wish I could show you. I don't have the picture. I should have planned this. He literally, just week before last, split an arrow. So his bullseye, the target that I gave him for his birthday, has a small bullseye and then a bullseye within the bullseye. So he focused. Again, it's about focus. It's about clarity of thought. What am I trying to accomplish? What are you trying to accomplish with V&I? Engaging in this mission, how many people do you want to help? And so he hit a bullseye, the bullseye within the bullseye from 30 yards. Then the next shot, he split the arrow, just like they do in the movies. It was unbelievable. It literally, the second arrow inserted itself in the heart of the first arrow and went halfway up the shaft of the arrow. It was amazing, from 30 yards. So I'm bragging a little bit on Reed, so thank you for letting me do that. But think about this. Could he have done that if he didn't have absolute clarity on what he was trying to achieve? The same thing is true with your V&I business. The mistake that I see a lot of our wonderful partners making is they're meandering and hoping they're going to hit their goal. They're kind of, and we want you to be happy. We want you to be yourself. We want you to be grateful to God Almighty for the gift of this day. But again, if you want to achieve something, you got to focus, and you got to pull the arrow back. You got to put forth the effort, and you got to then release that arrow. You got to trust the process. And so that's what this is all about. And we want you to make sure that you have clarity. That's what all this whole discussion has been about so far, as I segue to my introduction with Gina and Ed. You want to have clarity in what you're trying to achieve. And then you need to know, what is it going to take in terms of effort and sacrifice to get there? Okay, so that's good. Hopefully that sets the stage. So make sure, here's the translation: know where you want to go and have a plan to get there. And if you don't, get with your upline success coach. Bring me into the discussion, folks. I love these. I've got a lot of experience doing this. So you and your upline team, you and your sponsor, y'all can bring me into some of these discussions. I enjoy the coaching and mentoring of helping the team set a target and put a game plan in place. I'll do Zooms. Gina and I did a couple really awesome Zooms this past week and Ed as well. So I'll do that. You've got all the resources that are there to help you. And sorry, doctor appointment just popped up, and I'm giving blood. They're gonna tell me that I'm making progress. By the way, one more thing I haven't really shared publicly. I'm not going to tell you where I weighed in at in the midst of this journey of trying to eat better and make better exercises. But I will tell you this: the doctor was blown away at the health of my blood from the labs. My cholesterol was slightly elevated. I mean, slightly, and which is really not even an issue. And for the weight that Husky Boy's been carrying around, he was blown away, couldn't believe it. So that's because of these products. So back to the mission. Your business and the cash flow. See, think about that. 5 years from now, just to reaffirm, 5 years, where do you want to be? What's the pin level and what kind of cash flow and what's that going to do for you and your family? 2 years from now, where do you want to be? What's the pin level? What's the cash flow? What's that going to do for you and your family? 1 year from now, what's your goal? What's your vision? What's your dream? Where do you want to be? What pin level with V&I? What's your cash flow? What's that going to do for you and your family? What's that going to do in terms of helping you make contributions? And then you break that down to this month, September, between now and the end of the month. What am I going to do? What am I going to help my team do? But you always lead by example. You've got to build the model, replicate the model. Okay, so you always set the tone for yourself. You lead yourself. The biggest challenge of leadership is first leading ourselves, first not kidding ourselves, first having clarity on where we're trying to go and where we want to go and where we're going to go. Language is important. And then helping your team have that clarity. But remember, you can't give away something that you don't have. So if I'm meandering kind of toward like a cow grazing, hoping I'll hit the target, and then I'm trying to counsel my team on how to be focused, there's no moral authority in that example. So we have to lead by example. We have to be willing to pay the price based on our own goals and dreams and what we're trying to accomplish. And then when we coach and teach our team, we're coming from a place of influence. We're coming from a place of credibility. We're coming from a place of integrity. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, with that, it is my pleasure to welcome to our poolside chat, even though it's kind of, in Charlotte at least, it's been summer. So we're going to pretend it's the tail end of summer, which I think technically it is. But Gina and Ed, why don't you go ahead and unmute your video and unmute your audio. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeff.
Morning.
Good morning, lady and gentlemen.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, we got a lot. Now listen, we've chatted a little bit about what we're going to cover, and we talked about it even a couple days ago. But here's what I want to do. I want to put a topic up, and then we're gonna be free flowing. So y'all, as we've talked, spread your wings, soar. So I might throw something out that I know the team's going to benefit from, and if you feel led to go on a rabbit trail, you enjoy that rabbit trail, and we'll be just bring us with you. So it's all good. All right, I'm going to put a topic out there, and the topic it's going to be high level. I want to talk about sharing activity. Sharing activity. Let's talk about that before we go to the V&I Life app. So just at a high level, you're coaching me. So I'm a brand new partner in your team, or I'm an existing leader that wants to take my business to the next level. What kind of coaching and mentoring do y'all give on a daily basis to your team, which is all of us, about the importance of sharing activity?
You want me to go first, Ed?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, it's very important to share with your brand new person. You want to be a responsible sponsor. So that's most important if you want to build a business. Prior to us having the preferred customer program, Jeff, everyone came on board as partners. Now with this awesome preferred customer program, we can actually identify who to work with, which makes it much, much easier. So be responsible. I know we're going to talk more when we get into the V&I app, but take the time to work with that person, sit down with them, or either, do a Zoom or talk to them by phone, and, find out what their goals are, what their vision is, where they want to go. And as Ed says, don't dump the whole load on them. I get so excited sometimes, Jeff, when I'm talking to people that Ed has to, come in and interject. He'll be listening to me. And because I love this business. I'm passionate about it. I love helping people. And that's part of it. If you're not excited about what you're doing, the other person on the other end of the line can also tell that. So part of it in helping the new person is they need to know what your belief level is. You need to be able to interject that with them and let them know that, hey, we got the cookie. There's nothing else out there like V&I. We are setting the pace of what other companies wish that we had. And you just to back up a little bit, you know, when Bill started the company, it wasn't like ready, fire, aim, you know, let's just start a company and let's figure out what we're going to sell. No, Bill had a dream and a vision many, many years ago. And his passion radiated, you know, 25 years ago to help people. He knew that was his mission in life. And on this journey of life for all of us, God has brought us all to this point to where, you know, the pieces of the puzzle is coming together. The right people are coming on board, and just love on them, work with them. Again, sit down with them. You know, we've got this awesome partner sheet now, Jeff, that you came up with that we love. And, you know, we get those out to the brand new people because the instructions are right there. If you're new and listening for the first time, if you've never been involved in this type industry, and I've got a guy that I'm switching Monday, and thank you, Jeff, for helping me with him. I'm switching him Monday from preferred customer to partner. But it's been a journey. I just didn't just say, hey, why don't you come on board as a partner? He started out as a preferred customer. I said, experience the products. You know, then if you want to share with others, then let's take it to the next level. And so that's what I suggest is, you know, just love on them, take your time. You know, this is a marathon, so to speak. It's not a race. So it is a process to get them where you need them to go.
Yeah. Yeah, Gina, I wanted to clarify what Gina said. I don't know how I get it to me, but I hope people could hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Gina said something about, you know, don't dump the whole load. What she was doing and what I always counsel her on is I always tell a story about a preacher that shows up on Sunday to give a sermon, and only one of his people show up. And he comes down off the podium and he says, you know, you're the only one that showed up today. And the guy says, well, I'm a farmer. And he says, and if I go to feed my cows and only one cow shows up, I feed them. And he said, well, that's great. He said, you're right. So the preacher gets back up on the podium for an hour and a half. He gives them fire and brimstone and comes down off the podium and he says, what'd you think? And he said, well, be honest with you, if that one cow shows up, I don't dump the whole load on them. And the moral of the story is, you know, this is a marathon. We are working towards something. They don't have to know everything they need to know that one time you got them on the phone. And Gina, in her passion for the business, tends to tell them everything. And she was telling them how to be a Crown Ambassador before they were a partner. So I said, slow it down a little bit, babe. Just, you know, let them digest what you told them and let them off the phone. So, yeah, and she is passionate about it. I am passionate about it, but we just got to be conscious of the fact that they don't need to know everything about everything before they get started. They'll run away if you dump too much on them.
That's so important, Ed. And you know what's interesting? I just typed in the chat bar, less is more, and we covered that last week. And you know what's funny? We've all, and you know this, Ed, Cynthia. I mean, I was talking with Cynthia about this as well. And Gina, you shared this. I do it myself. I was at an entrepreneurial group yesterday morning, and they gave me a few minutes to let everybody know what V&I was about, and I had to catch myself. I found myself going into the Thursday night presentation, you know, which we don't have time to do. And so, like you said, that's great counsel, Ed, and you know, and Gina, for all of us, is to take it one step at a time. You know, take it one step at a time. Less is more. And like you said, Gina, it's not so much about what we say, it's how we feel about what we say, it's how we feel about what we're sharing. So the how do you build that belief? It's by plugging in. It's by plugging in. It's about staying consistent, building your own customer base, and you're going to have customers share their results. You're going to have your partners share their results. You're going to plug in. You're going to learn from Gina. You're going to learn from Ed. You're going to learn from Cynthia Sauer. You're going to learn from Mike Boston. You're going to learn from Michael Saletti. You're going to learn from the team. And as you go through that learning curve, your belief goes up, your conviction goes up, and then you've got more influence as you're talking because it's coming from a place of truth. And that's so exciting. I want to share something with you. Bill Downs, our founder, our visionary founder, is plugged in. By the way, he and Kim usually, when they usually plug into almost every event. And as we grow, that might be a little harder to do as we continue to take this mission around the world. But I promise you, they're going to consistently plug in. But we were talking, when you think about paying the price, he just sent in the chat bar that the greater the vision, the greater the dream, like we were talking about, the greater the effort and the persistence that's required. And what we're doing as a family within the VNI model is we're providing a vehicle to every partner, but you got to drive it. Each one of you, just like Gina and Ed have driven their VNI vehicle to ambassador, going crown ambassador. Everyone plugged in today and everyone that ever joins in the future has the same opportunity. It's so we the VNI is the vehicle, and where do you want to drive it? You know, we've got the best vehicle in the model. We're going to continue to validate the products that we have with new science. We're going to continue there's going to be new products in the future. You know, I'm going to tell you there's going to be a big launch in 2020. So we're always going to make sure that every one of us, we've got something to be excited about. We've got something that we can help people with. And that passion comes through just like we're talking about. So let's go from sharing. So I'm going to put this in. Let's talk about the VNI Life app. And I don't want to put y'all too much in a box. So I'm going to send that in the chat bar, the VNI Life app. What do you want to share with the team? And then we've got some specific things we're going to talk about, but go. VNI Life app, go. It's like I throw a concept on the table and you guys just share it with
my favorite tool. I absolutely love it, Jeff. You know, I'm up here in Clemens, North Carolina. One of our grandsons is turning 16 on Monday. So we came up here, or I'm up here. Ed didn't get to come on this trip, but I'm up here visiting with family and with the kids and grandkids. And, you know, I was able to, yesterday when I was at the hair salon, you know, that's a thing I have to do every now and then, at the hair salon under the hair dryer, and I'm using my app and I'm looking through my contacts and I'm sending out, you know, the video, and I love the 6-minute, but I happened to send out a 10-minute to a friend that I know from 20 some years ago and haven't talked to him in ages. And I sent him, you know, the information, and I love it because within just a few minutes, I can tell, you know, that he's looking at it. And so I wait about 10 minutes and I text him again and I said, you know, hey, Alan, how are you? And I said, are you available to talk later today? And he said, sure, yeah, let's catch up. So I said, what time do you get off of work? And I know this guy's a workaholic. I know he has lots of contacts. And he says, I get off today at 6. And I said, okay, I'm going to give you a call. I called him at 6:30. We had a great little chat, spoke to his wife for a second, and we're going to follow up. He says, yeah, this sounds good. And I did suggest he get on the product. I know he could be a business builder, but I said, just try the product. Do a little research this weekend. Let's talk next week. And I said, you can become a preferred customer, get the product at wholesale for what I get it for. And I said, hey, by the way, if you want to share this with others, I'll help you. And I said, you know, you can become a partner for just $50. And I said, by the way, I was able to see through this app where I sent you the video that you took a look at it. And I said, this is the best tool, Alan, I've seen in 30 years of my relationship marketing and network marketing experience. And he goes, wow, well, that's pretty cool. He said, yeah, $50, that's all. I said, yeah. I said, the company's invested tens of thousands of dollars, you know, into marketing. And I said, this app, I promise you, is a game changer. So, and I sent out some more messages too. Some people I don't even know that I've put in my phone over the years. I've got another guy to follow up with today that was in my phone as a business name, but I know his name's Tim also. So I'm going to call him this afternoon. So this is the pipeline that you can dream about, you know, or put them in the funnel. And that's what this app is allowing us to do, is put them in the funnel and get it started. And some are going to come out of the bottom. I mean, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist, you know, to do this. You just, as Nike says, just do it. So.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah, right. I want to interject here a little bit, and I want to talk a little bit about the difference between fishing and hunting in reference to this app. I know I've spoke with you about this before, but when you go hunting for someone or a partner, and you're actually hunting, what do you got to do when you do hunting activity? You got to shower first. You got to dress a certain way. You've got to actually smell a certain way when you're hunting something. But the app allows you to do more fishing than hunting. And I always tell people when you're in the mode of prospecting for customers and or partners, be in a fishing mode. Now, would you rather fish in a pond that you have just one fish in, or would you rather fish in a well-stocked pond? Well, the answer is you want a well-stocked pond. What the app allows you to do is load all your contacts from your phone, which is your well-stocked pond, into the app. And then you just throw in lines and hooks to see if they're biting today. And that's the difference. I mean, you really don't have to you're sending the videos. I know we've got 48 clinical studies and more to come. To be honest with you, I've read the first line of one of the clinical studies, and I think it was the one I was in. That really doesn't happen. Some people will dive into all that science, but most people won't. But they will watch the videos, and that is a fishing line. You're throwing it out there. See if they watch it. If they watch it, they don't know whether you know they watched it or not, but we know through the app that we can see what they're doing. If they're watching it 5 minutes, or they're watching it 2 minutes, or they just clicked on it one time, you get that information, and that is powerful. It's like a fish finder. I mean, you could see all the people in the water that you're trying to connect with, and you're seeing which one's grabbing the hook.
I love it. That's so true. And listen, we're gonna stay on this topic, the topics of the VNI Life app and and sharing activity. We're gonna stay on this for a few more minutes, because what's interesting, folks, and I want to share with you, and I say this with absolute encouragement, not conviction, but when you open up your app, I want you to take, if you haven't already done this, take 15, 20. Take 30 minutes with a cup of tea or coffee and become familiar with all the contents that are there. Now your lead tool, probably 95%, 98% of the time is either going to be the 5-minute video or the individual product shorts. That's probably I like you said, Gene, I know you and Ed both are using the 5-minute video, the product science video, typically as the lead. Now, if you got someone that is open to the opportunity and has a desire on the financial side as well, and the mission side, then you can share the 10-minute. But become familiar as you're following up. Remember, we talked about it last week, moving to a good yes, fishing, just like Ed's coaching us, moving to a good yes or moving to a good no. Share a little bit, and then the next step is share a little bit more. The next step is listen to where they're coming from and help them, lead them in the direction that they want to go. That's the beautiful thing about it, like we talked about. So the sharing activity combined with need and desires from the person you're talking with, that's where the magic happens. And the more you do this, look, Ed will tell you, Gene will tell you, they have become experts by doing. And they'll also be the first to tell you that they're getting better every day. There's rarely a conversation I have, and I don't beat myself up, but hit myself over the head. But there's rarely a conversation where I look back at the end of the day and I say, okay, what are the lessons? What went well? What could I have done better? And there's never a day where I can't make adjustments to be more effective from a leadership perspective. So it's about progress, not perfection. So here's the point. I've had conversations over the last week, and if you're one of those conversations, do not take this personally, because it's lots of conversations and text exchanges where it's clear to me that the partner has no clue what's on this app. They have they clearly, don't take this personally, but if it's true, make the adjustment. They clearly have not taken 5 or 10 minutes to even look at the app and see what's on it. And folks, again, the size of your dream, the size of your goal, you got to make sure that you're willing to pay the price. Don't kid yourself. If you need to lower your goal or raise the commitment, that's what I would prefer you do. I keep dreaming big dreams, but then raise your commitment and be willing to pay the price. That's what we want to encourage you to do. But don't kid yourself and operate in no man's land, no woman's land. Where your dreams up here, your commitment and your sacrifice and your contributions down here, and you're thinking magically you're just going to fall to your dreams. You're not going to do it. You got to pay the price. So either bring your goal and vision down to your level of commitment, or preferably bring your level of commitment up to your dream and your goal, because you can do it. That's the mantra that the three of us want to share with all of you. You can do this. If you're taking notes, write down, I can do this, and we will help. So if you're writing notes, I can do this and they will help. I can do this and Ed and Gina will help and Jeff will help. And the whole corporate team is in every employee with this great company. Their job is to serve you in one way or another. Some are serving behind the scenes, packing, shipping products. Some are working behind the scenes in accounting and finance. Some are working behind the scenes on technology, like the reason we have the VNI Life app. But the whole company, some are working with Bill and Steve Kushner on the scientific side, the product development, research, science, but it's all to serve you and your customers. And so, but you got to do your part. Take a few minutes. Know what's on the app. Come on. It's telling me in my Face ID. It didn't. How do you like this? It's Face ID and it declined my face. That's scary. But take a few minutes. The training, VNI, I hope you can see this, VNI app training video. Let me let the camera clear. It's right there within the app. The training on the app is in the app. All you got to do is open it and click it. And the trainings you can go through in 20, 25 minutes max, and you've got all the basics. It's very simple. Now, back to the sharing, and then I'm going to toss it back over to Gina, to you and Ed. I have to throw kudos out. I'm going to be specific here. Let me see how I can do this. All right, I'm going to minimize my screen. I'm not going to be able to see you for a second, but y'all are going to be able to hear me. All right, from September 1 through this morning, excuse me, from September 1 until early this morning, when I looked and pulled this report, we get at the corporate level, I get the total app activity. The total app activity. Let me find. I minimized the screen now. I can't find you. This is unbelievable. Hold on a second. I found the data I wanted. Now I got to get back to y'all.
Okay. We can see you, Jeff.
Okay, so all right, so I'll figure it out. All right, so get this. Talk about leading by example. I'm trying to figure out how I want to deliver this where you understand what I want to say. All right, let me back up. We get all the data and analytics from every partner's share activity. Just like you get the analytics, if you share the products with a customer, prospective partner, and they open the video, you have that data. That's what's so powerful about this app. If I open the app, and if I opened it and clicked on the video, you know how much of the video I've watched. Well, all that data rolls up, and it gives me and our marketing team and Bill and Kim Downs all the data we know about the sharing activity within the whole company. So I will tell you on a personal level, if somebody's telling me how hard they're working and I look and they've shared with one person in the last 2 months, I know they're kidding themselves and they're trying to kid me. So that's why we want to have clarity with where we are and where we want to go. But it's not about oversight. It's about trending. It's about who do we help? And also we get to see what's being shared, the content that you are sharing. This is most important. We get to see what's being shared, what's not being shared, and what's working and what's not working. And then we'll continue to add content based on the real data from what y'all are sharing and what's working. And so it's really cool. Now, with that being said, let me get specific. Our fearless leaders that are coaching and training us today, Gina and Ed Bender, Team Bender, from September 1 until this morning, have more unique shares than anyone in the company.
Doesn't surprise me.
Think about this. Success leaves clues. So our ambassador leaders, Gina and Ed Bender, who are working towards Crown Ambassador, are leading by example. Okay, there are no secrets here. Just that's what each one of us needs to do. You need to lead by example. And they're sharing with more people. So get this, since September 1 till this morning, Gina and Ed have 106 shares. 106 shares. Now, I have to give the silver medal to Cynthia Sauer, who's just behind. Bravo. Now, I'm going to give you one other data point. There's the share activity, and then when you share it with me, that doesn't mean I watch it. So there's the viewed by prospects data that we get. And so Gina and Ed are number 1 in shares. Cynthia's right behind. In the viewed by prospects, Cynthia is just in front, and Gina and Ed are right behind. Isn't that cool? So here's the key. And both are like A+'s gold medal. So the reality is all 3 of them are on the podium, including John. So Cynthia and John Sauer are on the podium. Gina and Ed Bender on the podium. They've set the bar right now. Okay? They've set the bar for the whole company into what's possible. Now, we got a lot of great sharing. I don't want to leave anybody out, but I have to be honest. There is a big gap between Gina and Ed and Cynthia and everyone else. Everyone else. There's a big gap. Now, I do want to give, so now what's the difference between, and I want to stop after I throw this out and go back to y'all. So think about this. What's the difference between the shares, and again, we're talking A+'s, the shares and the viewed. If you take the time, and this is what Gina and Ed are doing, this is what Cynthia's doing. If you take the time to call someone before you share, you're going to have a higher viewed percentage. If you just text them cold or email them cold, which is not what they're doing, that's the reason they're having such great results, then you're going to have lower viewed by prospects. But it all starts with sharing. If you share, if Jeff Hook shares and I share all wrong, but I keep sharing, I'm going to grow my business, I'm going to grow my customer base, and I'm going to rank advance. But if I share and get better with my sharing, with some of the tips that we talk about today and some that we talked about last week, then the view percentage is going to go up, meaning the information that we're sharing is actually being consumed. And then we're able to follow up and say, okay, the next step is, and continue with that fishing like Ed was talking about. So Gina and Ed, weigh in on any of this.
Well, I just want to weigh in. You know, I've had many people call me and say, well, how do I use the app? What do I do with the app? And I always go back to the same line. I tell them, tell me what a vanilla ice cream cone tastes like. Because they can't describe what a vanilla ice cream cone tastes like. Try to do that sometime. The point I'm making is this. They got to use the app in order to understand what it does. If you don't use the app, you'll never know what a vanilla cone tastes like, because you got to use it. People that aren't using it are constantly asking what it does, how to do it. And you really just got to get in there and use it. You're not going to learn it any other way. We can't do a training on it. We could do somewhat of a training on it, but there's training in the back, but you cannot train it. It's got to be, you've got to use it in order to understand it. So I hope that helps some people out there, because if you're afraid of it, it does nobody no good. But if you're not afraid of it and just, I mean, I don't care if you call the people first, we want you to, but initially pick out dogs and cats and send a video to them. See what doesn't work, and then move to what does work, like you were talking about. We just want you to share the things, because back to the fishing story, those are the fishing lines. Those are the things that we need to put in the water. Those are, you know, you can fish with worms, you can fish with shrimp, you can fish with dough balls, but you got to put lines in the water in order to catch fish. And that's what we're talking about. You got to keep on putting whatever works for you into the app and into sharing with others, and you get results.
Yeah, I like to add too, Jeff, you know, really, you know, if you've been in the business with Victory sometime and you're building the business, then you really want to reach out, you know, reach out to your partners that you haven't talked to in a while. You know, I had a partner reach out to me a couple days ago, and we set an appointment for 11 p.m. because he's West Coast time. And, you know, he honestly didn't even know about the app, and he didn't know about the preferred customer program. And, you know, he says, I work 65 hours a week. You know, I'm busy. He didn't understand, you know, the new membership program. So I literally spent probably 30 minutes or maybe a little more with him on the phone. I was very excited. Now he's excited. He's ready to download the app. He's ready to go back to his partners. And the great thing about Victory is, and you'll learn this as you're building this business, the products flat out work. You'll never be disappointed with that. So we have lots and lots of customers that get on these supplements. They love them and they don't get off. So if you have partners that are doing the same thing, you know, as a courtesy, you being the sponsor, you should be a responsible sponsor. Go back to them and say, hey, do you know about this great tool that Victory has? You know, I try to share through, you know, through group emails because we have, you know, a pretty large team. But if you're just getting started or if you've been in for a short period of time, go back to those 2, 3, 4, 5 people that you brought to the table and help them to understand all this new stuff that's come out this past year. We've got people that have been in 3, 4, 5 years that don't have a clue as to what's going on, but they're enjoying the products. They might have sat down, and because of network marketing, you know, one of the benefits is creating residual income. But think what they could help you and this company do. We're trying to get that message out there of, you know, of love, of sharing, and what we can do to help change lives on a daily basis. And the VNI app is now my #1 tool because it has everything else in it. It has the videos, it has the information about the products, it has the PDFs. You know, as you said, Jeff, it even has the training. So, you know, you just got to get comfortable with it. You know, take the excuses away of the person that says, you know, I don't know how to do it. Help them. Take the time. You know, we were working with Denise Blankenship a couple days ago, and one of our senior partners is in her 80s, and she has downloaded the app. You know, she's excited. In fact, she's so excited she wants to go upgrade from an Android to a Apple phone because she wants to be on the same platform we're on. But we're willing to teach and train those that are holding their hands up, because that's what's going to make your business grow, is that personal relationship that you have brought to your business. That will, you know, help not only your business grow, but it's going to help the company. And, you know, when you're talking about, you know, visions and goals, I have to think, you know, where do Ed and I want to be 10 years from now? Well, we know Bill and Kim's big, hairy, audacious go. You know, we're going to tag team on that. We want to see the company as a whole have 10 million customers / partners that we can reach out and help, you know, worldwide. I mean, what a great goal. So over the next 2 years, I think, you know, where would Ed and I love to be in 2 years? It's really not about us. We're just everyday people. We just love helping people. You know, we're nothing special, so you don't have to be a rocket scientist or a college graduate or a doctor or anything to do this business. You just have to have desire. We have desire to help others. So, you know, 2 years from now, I would like to see Ed and me have an ambassador in at least one, if not more, in each one of our legs of our business, and several envoys that we can share our life with and share their lives with us, and be able to bond and take trips together. You know, we've got friends, and I know Bill and Kim have a timeshare too, but, you know, Ed and I own a couple timeshares. I know Denise Blankenship does, and, you know, Rebecca Sidden. And we were sitting here just thinking and game planning and thinking, you know, we could literally go anywhere and build this business, but why not take advantage of those timeshares and do some team things together and go into a market and help progress a certain market. You know, we don't want to go out there to start momentum. That's going to be up to you as the team member. But if you're raising your hand, you can put 20, 25, you know, people or more into a room. We'll come out there and we'll help support you. That's what this is all about, is helping one another. So I'll turn it back over to you, Jeff.
No, I'm nodding my head. That's a wonderful vision that you just articulated that you and Ed have, and that's the key. As you, you know, your dream, your vision. Yes, it's personal. Yes, it needs to connect your head with your heart, but we want to bring people with us. We want to bring people with us. So let your wings spread, soar. Think about what you want to create, and just recognize that the bigger the dream, the more sharing you're going to have to do. The bigger the dream, the greater the contribution and sacrifice and commitment. You know, it's anything worth doing involves sacrifice and commitment. That whether you're building a church, whether you're building a family, whether you're building a customer base with V&I, whether you're building and leading a partner team with V&I. And of course, that's when you build a V&I business, you could just build a customer base, and that's wonderful. And we do have some amazing partners that are doing that. But most choose to build a customer base and teach a team how to build a customer base. And so all of a sudden you've got an organization and you're going to impact a lot more people. You're going to create a lot more volume that way. But you also have leadership responsibilities, which means you're going to have some headaches. You're going to have some challenges. You're going to have some disappointments. You're going to have some heartaches. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. And folks, we all know that. That's life. That's life. But a V&I life is better, in my opinion, than just a life. Yeah. V&I life is better than just a life. So go ahead, please, Ed.
I just wanted to say, Gina plans vacations in her heads, and we truly do plan on taking vacations. But our vacations also include working the business. It dovetails. You can go out and have a fabulous time in wherever you want to go, Grand Canyon or whatever, with a timeshare. But you can also work your business into that. Gina and I really don't separate our business from our personal life. It's all incorporated. We do it all at the same time. We can be visiting the Grand Canyon and prospecting at the same time, finding partners and customers at the same time, which is a lot of fun, to be honest with you. It's different from any other job you'll ever have in your life. I mean, what other job, on a job you want to turn off your job and go vacation somewhere. We want to turn our vacation into part of our business, and it's tax deductible if you do it that way too. So it's a pretty neat.
That's a great way to look at it. It's a great way to look at it. I'm just reading. We always talk, folks, about the whole team. We always talk about, what's your personal growth plan? Are you reading a little bit every day from a good book? What are you feeding your brain? What are you feeding your heart? What are you feeding your attitude? And Gina and Ed and I are believers and in having a personal growth plan. So maybe that's reading 5 minutes a day from a good book. My goal minimum is 30 minutes a day, and sometimes it's a book, sometimes it's an audio book. Minimum 30 minutes a day, 7 days a week, and I knock on wood, I don't think I ever miss that. Usually it's more than 30 minutes. Well, a book that I just started reading yesterday is called The Wealthy Gardener, and it's a fable about the life lessons on prosperity between father and son. And I got this quote. I want to share this with you. And he didn't know, the author of the book, John Soforic, did not know where this came from. So I'm giving him credit because that's where I got it. But it's on, again, as we share, we're planting seeds. Okay, we're putting, and the V&I products are the best seed in the world. So our job is to plant seeds. It's just like the fishing metaphor that Ed walked us through. Our job is to cast the hook. Our job is to give ourselves a chance for a fish to nibble. Give ourselves a chance for someone to be blessed by these products. So it's about seed, putting good seed in the marketplace, and it's about mindset. So look at this. Intentions. Hold one second. I got choked up. I'm so excited. All right. Intentions. Your mind is a garden. Your thoughts are seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. I thought I love that because our intentions and our thoughts and our sharing activity are going to either grow flowers, or our intentions, our thoughts, and our sharing activities are going to grow weeds, or it's going to be a barren landscape. And the beautiful thing is each one of us is in control of that by your own activity. So be intentional. We've got great seed. All you got to do is share it. All you got to do is use the V&I Life app and get it out there. You just get it, share. The more sharing and caring with a smile on your face and love in your heart. Invite, share, follow up. Rinse and repeat. Invite, share, follow up. Rinse and repeat. And when you're in the exposure process, just like we've been talking about, the next step is give them a little bit more information. Give a little more, but don't dump them and put the seed on them so much that they can't even get oxygen. They're suffocated from the seed. So a little bit at a time. So anyway, I want to toss this over, Gina, to you and Ed. We've got some events coming up. On September 24th, we have the Charlotte Vision Tour event that the two of you are kind enough to lead and host with us and for us. We also, let me give you the dates, and then I'm going to toss it over to y'all to talk any comments on building towards the event. So let me give you the dates. Charlotte, September 24th, October 22nd. The event flyers, I had a question just a little while ago on, why are the event flyers not up? They're in the back office, and they're actually also on the app. So, all good. This was from a director, by the way. So room for improvement. We got it. So the other thing is, September 24th, October 22nd, Charlotte. And then Front Royal, Virginia, October 15th. We'll have a flyer out on Monday. Reston, Virginia, up towards D.C., October 16th. And then in November, those two markets will have Vision Tour events, Front Royal on November 5th and Reston, Virginia on November 6th. So Cynthia Sauer is the leader and host and her team of the Front Royal events on October 15th and November 5th. And then Lisa Turner is the leader and hostess of the Reston events on the 16th of October and the 6th of November. So those are details. Flyers are already out for Charlotte. Ed and Gina, let's talk about the events. How do I build towards those events to grow my business?
Well, there's several ways, but again, going back to the app, that our flyers are already in there. So we're already starting to send those flyers out, not only to partners, but also to potential prospects that we're inviting to the event. So that's another neat way that you can share. But make a list of people that in the area. I went back and looked at some lists that I had from years ago, and was surprised to find that I had like a list of 100 people that were from Charlotte that I had connected with at some point or another, maybe 7, 8, 10 years ago. So I'm going through that list now and seeing if I remember some of these people to connect with. And also I'm using the app to get messages to those people, because again, it's about fishing. And one thing I forgot to mention that's very important about the VNI Life app is we have the desktop version. So if you haven't went, if you haven't went to the desktop, it's vnilifeapp.com. And I absolutely love it, Jeff. That's where I do a lot of my follow-up and go back and look, because once someone takes a tour and looks at the video, or if they listen to an audio, there's a to-do list when you log in. It puts those people's names right there in the to-do list, and it's so cool. You click on their name, it's got a notes section. I'm going back and following up with those people, and I'm putting in notes. I'm reaching out to them by phone. And a lot of times people that you might not have connected with in 10, 20 years may have not gotten your number or taken it out of your phone. So a lot of people don't answer the phone because of all the spamming going on. So leave a nice message. Let them know, hey, let's reconnect. I run across your name in my phone, and I'm in the Charlotte area now, which I've done. That's the kind of messages I'm leaving. And let's reconnect and catch up and see what's going on. So use the app to follow up. I was talking to Cynthia, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, and she says, hey, I don't even need a day timer now with this VNI Life app. I said, it's awesome, Cynthia. We can do everything. And she's a fanatic about the app like me, okay? We live it. We're breathing it. We're doing it every day, every moment we could think of. Well, who can we get to now? But I have to give kudos to Cynthia, because everybody's got gifts and talents, and I'm more reserved. I'm more laid back. I'm not like the type of person just to jump out there in public and start talking to somebody. That's Cynthia. So she's not only using the app, but wherever she goes, she breathes this. She's living it. She's out there talking to people. And I'll have to tell you a quick story. She shared with me a couple days ago, she and her son, Christopher, were out there, and I don't know anybody hardly any busier than Cynthia. 4 kids, she's out there doing a milk run, 1 or 2 days a week to make extra money to support the family, building her V&I business, right along with it. But they had stopped for gas. Cynthia had to go in and use the restroom. On the way out, we're on the phone. She says, well, let me see what's going on with Chris. And Chris says, because he kind of disappeared. She found him and he's like, Mom, this couple, they were real sweet. They were destitute. Their credit or debit card didn't work. So I put $15 worth of gas in the car. And so she says, let me go. I got to go check on this and see what's going on. So she called me back in 5 minutes, and she had went over to where this couple were. They were waving, and she went over and introduced herself and talked to them, found out that, the girl wanted a medical background, and, they were just a sweet couple. She got their name and numbers, got their information, and said, hey, are you interested in maybe earning some extra income, learning what I'm doing? And they said, sure. So that's Cynthia. She's out there leading by example, and she don't do it just once a week. This girl is out there pushing the ball forward every single day. And that's why you're seeing great results out of Cynthia.
Yeah.
And Jeff, I wanted to tell you, at every event, it kind of tickles me. People do the V&I salute. And I think I told you about this the other day, but I'm going to show you. Does everybody understand what the V&I salute is? The V&I salute is simply this. People that invite people to the meetings, but they really don't follow up, they end up doing the V&I salute, and they're in front of the Holiday Inn or the Reston Inn or whatever, looking like this, trying to figure out where the people are they invited. That's what I call the V&I salute, and I see it happen at every event. I invited 50 people. I will tell you this, one of the tips I learned a long time ago is 100% of the people you bring will show up. And I'll repeat that, 100% of the people you bring will show up.
That you bring, meaning you pick them up and take them with you.
Take them there, exactly right. And they can't leave until you leave. So if you really want to be assured that your room is going to be filled, have everybody bring one person. If they'll just try to bring one person, invite everybody, but bring one person yourself, and you'll have a good sized room filled with people. And it's a simple tip, but it really works. Bring a person to the meeting. And that's my goal. That's my goal for Charlotte. That's my goal for Ruston. That's my goal for, Front Royal. I'm going to make sure that I have a person there. And I promise you, the lady that I have in mind for Front Royal is 100 years old. Now, she has a daughter that'll probably bring her too, but she's 100 years old. If Claudia show up, we're going to have her there. So, we're going to have a person there everywhere we go.
I love it. Well, you know what? We're out of time, but here's what we're going to do. I'm hoping, Ed, you and Gina are both available. So let's talk about the upcoming week. So Monday night at 9:00, our fearless leader, Bill Downs and Steve Kushner, I'm going to be kind of emceeing the event, but we are launching the official launch of our GARS Restorgen product line. And so we've got a Zoom. Hopefully all of you know that 9:00 Monday is the official launch of our GARS Restorgen. Yours truly, along with Bill Downs and along with Steve Kushner, will be delivering that launch. And Gina and Ed, I know we've talked at length about how excited and the results our customers and our partners are getting with this. So got some great information, a wonderful new tool to share that's going to help you share the GARS Restorgen message with a world who needs it. And then Tuesday night at 9:00 is our monthly corporate leadership call. And I'm going to ask, hopefully, you don't have to answer now, but hopefully Gina and Ed will join me. And along with some corporate updates, we're going to build on what we just have been talking about. How to build towards events effectively. What are the key tips and strategies? Having a goal. If you're looking in the Charlotte market, you want to have 10 people there, or you want to have 20 people there. How do you do it? How do you build towards the event? And we're going to talk specific proven strategies. That's our whole focus on our leadership training on Tuesday night at 9:00 on our conference, our monthly corporate leadership call. So Ed and Gina, I'm going to toss it to you to close out. Thanks, everyone. This has been an amazing training. I'm still engaged taking notes. So Ed and Gina, bring us home.
Okay. Yeah. You know, just as I said, the Nike slogan, just do it. Just go out there and, you know, change lives, help people. And you know, we're here to help and support. Ed and I, this is all we do. It's our passion. Feel free to reach out to us. And Ed, I'll toss it over to you for any lasting comments.
I just want people to try to break the app. I want you to prove to me that the app doesn't work. You know, show me that you can use the app and not get customers and not get partners involved. If you'll just prove that to me, I'll be a tickled man. So, Gina, thank everybody for coming today. And Gina, you want to thank them also?
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today. It's been a great training. Thank you, Jeff, for inviting us on. And we just hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and God bless you all. Have a great day.
Thank you.